Okay, let's get started. Hi, welcome to Put Your Food Where Your Mouth Is, the show for people who need food to survive, which is everyone. I'm your host, Hannah Coakley, registered dietitian nutritionist. As always, I am joined by my beautiful and luscious co-hosts, Roberta and Steven. And today, I am actually going to be doing a very special episode. Special! Now, why am I doing this very special episode? Well, I'll tell you. It's because I've gotten a ton of questions on a very particular topic. And that topic is sugar. I have questions about sugar addiction, questions about sugar detox, questions about a no sugar diet, questions about dependence on sugar, questions about how much sugar is too much sugar. I mean, just tons of sugar questions. So, what I'm going to say today might be a little bit different from what you might be expecting a dietitian nutritionist to say, which is that sugar isn't bad. Full stop, period, the end. End of film. No, just kidding. We shall keep going. A lot of people feel like sugar is this addictive food. That's a very common thing that you hear. And obviously, it's a really huge issue for a lot of people. I mean, look at all of the questions that I got. So here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to push back against that a little bit for a couple of reasons. First of all, we know that it tastes good. That's pretty apparent. Our tongue tastes all sorts of different things. Sugar takes up tremendous real estate on our tongue. So evolutionarily, we are designed to notice sugar and then to also like it, to enjoy it. If you think about it in terms of the human body and the history of humans, a whole chunk of our time was spent seeking out foods that were tasty, that were full of nutrients and were full of calories. And I think the other thing I want to honor is that we need it. Your brain runs on glucose, full stop. And sugar, especially quick sugars, or now we have refined sugars, are much more readily accessible than they ever were before. And they're relatively inexpensive because of how at least the American food system is designed. So we've got two things. We've got the necessity of sugar, and we have the pleasing nature of it. However, we also have a culture that has come to really demonize the presence of sugar in most things. So we have this really interesting tension where sugar and words about sugar are very demonized or stigmatized, and we have a food system where sugars are in so many things, which seems like we're really putting ourselves in a situation that is designed to trip us up. So, if you are feeling like you're struggling with your relationship with sugar, which is very common, very, very common, and totally okay, I want you to take a look at a couple things. So first of all, I want to take a look at that deprivation piece in two different ways. Physiological deprivation, which is, are you eating enough? Are you getting enough food in throughout your day? Are you having meals and snacks with a complex carbohydrate and a protein and a fat so that you are feeling full, so that you do have that slow release of blood sugar throughout the day, which is giving you the energy that you need and not leading to these kind of highs and lows, these crashes? Something else to consider is, what's my emotional relationship that's happening with this particular food item? It could be that right now, a lot of that emotional fulfillment, a lot of that kind of zippy joy that comes from having sugar, and the kind of a little bit of energy burst, which is very real. I mean, having that glucose in your system is gonna, bump up your energy. That taste is certainly gonna make you feel happy, right? Is that right now the thing that I'm leaning on? And again, that's okay. That's totally okay and a very real thing that makes sense. So what else do I need to incorporate into my emotional life? What awareness do I need to have of my emotional states to notice when that's tipping into something that's really not helpful for me? So I can use myself as a case in point. I was doing both of those things. And for a long time, I felt like I couldn't have any sugar because I was really in this state of deprivation, not eating enough during the day and exercising too much. And then, also saying, no, this is bad, desserts are bad, scary, bad, no. And when I had access to those foods, and when I was feeling depleted, sad, lonely, I would seek them out. And then I felt like I couldn't stop myself. And I would have so much that I felt sick. And that would kind of create this little self-serving loop where I'd say, well, I can't have it. Obviously. Look what happens. But I started to kind of peel back the layers, right? I started to peel back the layers of maybe some emotional dependency. And the very real layers of I wasn't eating enough during the day. And over time, I noticed that I can have my particular thing, which I will just share, is York peppermint patties, and is apparently more controversial than I thought as a candy. A lot of polarization on that one, but that's my favorite thing. And I can have it most evenings. Sometimes it's enough to have some food because it tastes good and because you enjoy it. But to put it in this category of no, bad, can't, shouldn't, never, and wall it off is to give it so much power. And we already do ourselves, we're already harsh critics on ourselves, most people. So maybe this is a good way to practice with a little bit of compassion for ourselves. So, that's my take. That's my rebellious angle. And I hope that this has been helpful. If you have questions about this or about other questions, as always, putfoodwheremouth@gmail.com. And that's it. Goodbye for now, but not forever.